Milwaukee, original bands, there's a million great ones, and there always has been. But you can't really play a lot of cool places, and you can't play in front of people, and you can't make money doing original music here. In this area, the best thing to do is do a tribute band.
I mean, all my life I've always liked playing more original music, but I said, well, what kind of band? He's like, well, it's a U2 tribute band. I said, U2? I said, who's going to come and see them?
The one thing I said to those guys, okay, I don't look like Bono and I'm not going to, so if we can get over that part, you know, we might have a shot here.
This is either going to be something really corny and stupid, or it's going to be something really awesome.
Hold on. Loud for you. The track is loud?
Maybe when we start playing.
Okay.
Wait till we play.
Wait till we play. Okay, let's just go. Let's go and let's see where we're at.
How it went down was we were in Philadelphia having lunch. My friend, who I'd played with for years in a band, and a work-study student. And at the end of the bar, long story short, at the end of the bar was this small Irish guy. And he was sitting there talking with the bar owner. And long story short, so is that Bono? And we're like, yeah. And we bought him a pint and kind of, toasted him. I went home that night, still blown away by it. And then I went online it was about 3:30 in the morning. So I typed in U2 Zoo, and it was available. I'm like, so that's where the band started. I didn't have an echo pedal or anything.
I was leaving one band. I wanted to play in front of a lot of people, and a friend of mine that has since passed away from cancer was a guitar player in a band called Light Up, and they did Styx, and everyone's like, why would you do Styx? But then when they did Styx, the crowds were great, huge, and they played it spot on. So I was impressed by that. So I'm like, you know what? I want to put my name out there as far as, hey, anyone looking to do a U2 or a Journey or a Zeppelin or a tribute band, any of that stuff will go.
Craig and I go way back out. We went to actually high school together, played in our first bands together. And Craig called me up and goes, hey, what are you doing? You playing with somebody? I says, no. I says, I'm pretty much considering myself semi-retired. I says, I've got 2 kids now, just, knee deep in my job and my family and my house and everything else. He's like, would you be interested in joining our band? And I'm like, well, I'm always interested.
How I ended up in the group, I was in between bands. I had been in a really good cover band. That group broke up. Wasn't really sure what I was going to do at that point in time musically. Was thinking about doing my own acoustic shows, and then somebody said, hey, there's this group, they're looking for a singer. So I looked him up on the internet and sent an email to Brian and sent him a couple demos of some U2 covers I'd done in the past, and that's where it all started.
I'm a supervisor in information services.
I'm a database administrator.
I sit in the cubicle world all day.
Just an assistant service manager at a dealership, like Daughtry. Yeah.
We didn't make it in bands. We tried. We did an album in a band I was in. I know Mike and Craig played in bands way back. Scotty's done stuff, and there was dreams of all this stuff, which I still think getting older now is an illusion.
When I was 12, I think it was, my sister had a cassette tape of U2.
Unforgettable Fire. I was at Dominican High School in Whitefish Bay, sitting in religion class. The guy had a little cassette player, and I should have been probably doing something else. He said, listen to this, and I was like, holy shit.
It's nice because they actually evolved and moved along with the industry and kind of always tried to change, so when they came out with Octung, it was totally night and day. When I first heard Octung, I was like, wow, this is totally different.
War was my first, crazy in love with U2 music.
On that War album, there were some folk sounds, there were some punk sounds, there were some really raw, experimental kind of tones to the whole album.
No one's in this band that wasn't like a fan. You'd get so sick of it if you didn't absolutely love it. I hate telling people, yeah, I'm in U2 Zoo, and we're a U2 Zoo, or we're a U2 cover band, or a U2 tribute band. I just say we play U2 music.
The difference between a cover band and a tribute band. Well, when I look at a cover band, to me a cover band is more of a variety band. They play a variety of musics from a variety of different artists.
Maybe 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and they're just changing it up is what they do.
To me, a tribute band is a band that really tries to specialize in playing a specific band.
Since you are covering one band's music, you can spend time and get the music right.
I see like cover bands do U2 stuff, and it sucks. They don't have the right guitar tones, and the singer blows, and it just, even if they got a good singer, it sounds like a cover band doing U2.
When I've always heard the word tribute, I guess I always think of my fascination with Elvis, and you hear the ultimate Elvis tribute, and so you always think they're doing all Elvis all the time.
There was one person I talked to at a festival we played on Lake Michigan where she had said when she came to see us 4 years ago, she said she's wanted to see how much of a joke it could be.
The biggest preconception people have when they come to see a U2 Zoo show, I think, is that they're coming to see a look-alike band. And then when they see us, they don't look like U2. Well, maybe we do, some light.
Every artist is a cannibal, every poet is a thief, all killer inspiration, sing about the grief of love.
People like that illusion, and when you get the lights going, there is an illusion of U2, we hope, and we've been told it. But that's it.
There are a lot of bands out there that really concentrate more on the costumes and the look. It's like they're trying, and I understand their point that they're really trying to put on a show, so they're more into the show aspect of that, which is understandable. But I see some of these guys where they spend too much time trying to, I have exactly every single thing that Bono wears, or I have the exact jacket from this tour that Edge wore, or whatever, and then they play like shit.
Circulate, regulate, oh no, you cannot connect it, you.
I knew if people wanted to get into this, we had to dress up a little bit like them. We still hate that.
I understand it, but when I throw those sunglasses on, sometimes I think there's a nose and mustache coming right around the corner.
You get confused, but you know.
Here, we don't put on wigs, we don't try to look like the guys, we don't do anything along that line. Brian will put on a skull cap, and Scott will put on some sunglasses and maybe a hat.
There's no faking it. We're U2 Zoo from Milwaukee. There's only one U2 that wrote all this stuff, toured all this stuff. And it's very, very, very important that people know that, because there are bands that think they are, or they've become. You got that mindset, you're already lost.
No stars in the black night. Looks like the sky fall down. No sun in the...
Musically is the most important. That's what we've been about from day one. It's just playing the music right.
Always, it's got to be about the music. The music's got to be dead on.
We need to grab people right away and let them know that we're about the music.
When we do U2, we can't just play this U2 song like they play it. We have to play it better than them. because they're U2 and they can mess up and do what they want. They can switch out. I says, we need to play it better than they play it.
It's not about sounding like U2 as much as it is making the song sound as powerful as they are meant to sound. And I know Edge talks about letting the music kind of, they're almost like a vehicle to bring the music out. And there's something so to that.
When I see other bands play U2 stuff, it's like, oh, too bad, you know? And then when we play it, and I'm like, oh, cool.
We have a good core group of diehard fans that come see us on a regular basis.
The fact that people actually come listen to us and enjoy that, I had no idea that would even happen. People in their 50s and 60s and people in their 20s, and what a wide range.
That's the wild thing about this. All different people fused into the environment.
We have some fans that they put the fanatic part of that's where the word fan comes from to begin with, and you really see that.
There's people that come to show. Did you know what they played this set list back in '93 at this? No, I don't.
There was a guy at one show, he shows up with the white flag and everything.
There's this Korean dude that comes all the time and yells Larry to me. So I think that's my biggest groupie.
I get people just ravenous for whether we toss out T-shirts, and they're like, I need a T-shirt from you guys. Can I get your autograph? And I said, well, we're really not, U2.
We will not sell anything. We will not copyright. But the T-shirts, we have friends make designs every so often, and we get them made for really cheap, and we throw them out. We give them to people. Usually 10, 15 a show. And man, I don't know. Sometimes I think maybe they're not coming to hear us. They're just coming for the possibility of getting a free T-shirt. But when we run out, they got to talk the T-shirt man, which is Mike.
Whenever we run out of T-shirts at a show and there's people hounding him for them, he always points them that way. He's like, yeah, Mike's got them. Go see him. And I'm just there. Where's my shirt? I'm like,
When I first started singing with this group, I thought that would be a very narrow demographic. You're going to have diehard U2 fans that'll come see this, and that's it. And maybe that would have been the case had we decided that we were going to be a lookalike band.
what's really enjoyable is that, they've been around us almost 5 years now, that you really get to know them as friends. You know them by first name, you know their families, you know what they've been doing, and that's someone just saying, hi, how are you? You really say, hey, how are you doing? How's your kid? Hey.
This is such a personal experience, if I can even be selfish about it. I mean, I've created these relationships. And from that, what we've been able to do at shows, people getting engaged at shows.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ron Haddad has asked Anne to marry him, and she said yes.
People coming back and saying, we're married now for 2 years. We met at your show, so and so. Or people, I lost a loved one, and I'm here for this music, because U2 obviously touches so many people in so many ways. And it's almost like now, we have a responsibility. This isn't just playing, getting drunk bar. We have a responsibility to not just be good, but to be superior.
When we stand on a stage, I feel so confined. You have a barrier wall or a gate or something in front of you, and it just kind of makes it difficult to get out there into the crowd and back on stage without making it a train wreck. I really like to get into the crowd to try to get out of the cage, so to speak. I've always wanted to hear what we sound like out there is one small aspect of it. But really, to be with the people and thank them for being there and share the music with them. We're U2 fans and they're U2 fans. I think that's a big aspect of it.
This is stuff we do. We play around the Midwest, but this is real special for people here in Milwaukee and around the state. We're their band, and this is for them. Until we're done with it, this is for them, and I always want people to know that.
Every year since we got together, Summerfest is the most fun. It's 2 hours playing in front of 10,000 to 14,000 people.
Just think back to Summerfest when we played. You got 13,000 people out there, and we started to. I started out then we went and the crowd was just moving and circling and just, all these people. This is what it'd be for real touring bands on a regular night.
You look out at a sea of people, that's king, paramount. I mean, it's that 2 hours or so where you're actually living the dream.
You know, you play in front of these massive crowds, and people say there's an electricity, and it's true. It's something about it.
There's a rush. There's a feeling of you're doing what you should be doing right now. And when those moments come along, that's my favorite show at that point in time.
I would say the best show would probably be is last year my mother passed away, and we had a show like 2 or 3 days later, and the guys were like, if you want to cancel, Mike, we totally understand. But I felt like, you know, the one way to deal with mourning is to, you know, to really try to not think about it, but try to look into something that you really enjoy doing, which to me is playing in this band. And when I played that show, I really gave it my all, and to me, I think I played the best I've ever played. You know, whether my mom was looking down, seeing, you know, with an angel staring down at me, but I really felt something that day, that the emotions I was feeling, really, I poured into playing my heart out.
When we may get a little overexcited, you know, coming off of playing in front of 13,000 people at Summerfest, loves it, but Mike's like, hey, remember who we are, and yeah, that is who we are.
Mike and I have been playing together in bands since we were little kids. It's no mistake if it actually locks in. We've got enough time in to make it sound good.
Mike always wants to rehearse.
I'm a type that I love practicing.
If he was a dog, he'd definitely be a retriever. I mean, it's let's do it again, let's do it again, let's do it again, you know?
To me, practicing is just number one way to get out of the house, and it's my bowling night, I like to tell my wife.
What Craig brings is perfection within himself.
There's rarely a show that he's ever off.
Craig has always been my wingman when I have technical problems over the years and I'm panicking on stage or something like that, to say, dude, it's all when you're ready. There's a separate kind of, almost like a brother bond with him.
Brian's like my brother the most.
Brian is the over the top guy in the group.
I really love his passion. I mean, his passion about the music of U2, his passion about his gear and his playing and that.
He is the most crazy
Like Craig says, I'm a Dr. Fucka? But it was a
doctor, fuck with it all the time.
Dr. Fuck with it, yeah.
Just when he thinks that his gear is, that's it, there's nothing else.
I have finally the ultimate rig.
This is perfect. This is all I need.
Dream guitars, dream effects, everything I dreamed of as a kid.
That all changes in a matter of a week, and then he sees something else that maybe Edge has had, or here's another sound that he likes, and we got to change things again.
It's like Edge, I guess. When I see stuff with Edge, and Edge is on a constant thing trying to find sound, Brian's the same way, just always trying to get that sound, that tone, do whatever it needs to happen to get it. Sometimes it's great. Sometimes it's like, it was great 2 years ago, why are you messing with it? But that's what he's going to do, because in his head, he's not hearing it the way he wants to hear it.
He takes everything to the extreme. Dreams big.
Scotty, guy's a freak of nature.
He brings the authenticity to it. Without him, we are typically just another U2 tribute band. He sings like Bono in prime of Bono, 1985 Bono.
There's a love in this band for each member, and it's like a brother. I mean, there's static in the band constantly too, but not bad. That's good.
I still like playing the song One, just the guitar and a voice. There's parts in my life, many different parts in my life that I identify that song with. It's a very tenuous point in anybody's life or in a band's life, what that song is about. People overlook that, and people think it's a love song. Yeah, but it's more of a breakup song. Things are to the point that this is it. You know, we've got to recognize what we have here, or it's all done.
Do what you got when all you got is hurt. One love, one love, one life. You've got to do what you should. One life with each other, sisters and brothers. One life, but we're not the same. We've got to carry each other, carry each other.
People say, how do you do this with your job? And you're working, 50, 60 hours a week, and in your family, and both my wife and I work and raising kids. So without a stable family, this thing doesn't work. It just doesn't.
We all got regular jobs and families and so forth. I can't go out and just be Rick Springfield's drummer, or anything like that.
It would really, basically, it would take a lot to really uproot me from my life that I have now to go, let's say, touring or that sort of thing. It really would.
I mean, we could go out on the road with this and just play all over. It'd be great. But we've got kids and marriage and everything together, so it's like, what are you going to give up?
Without you, I can't live. Without you.
Played with Peter Frampton one year. We played recently with Huey Lewis. We played with Steve Winwood. We played with Styx. We played with Cheap Trick. Who can do this? Play at this level that we've grown to. We weren't always like this, but yet go home, at this show. I always think of it as a pyramid. You have your job, you have your family, and then you have the band. And all that fuels, for me anyways, it fuels each other. And as soon as something gets neglected in that, I think it all falls apart.
My body bruised, she got me with nothing to win and nothing left to lose, and you give yourself away.
We weren't able to make it. We weren't able to experience that for whatever making it means anymore, which doesn't mean as much as it used to mean. It used to mean everything. You'd play for 8 hours a day in your room, and you dreamed of all the limos and all that bullshit.
20 years ago, that was my dream, is to make it big. Writing original music, being out there, being able to tour and record.
And back then, you just thought every band you're in, you're going to make it, and you're going to be this huge rock star.
I think those years are far, far beyond me, far past me, past them, however I want to look at it. I don't see that as something that's a likelihood or something I'd really, at this point, be all that interested in.
It would have been cool. I wouldn't trade my life for anything, sacrificing the children I have and the family life that I have. I mean, that's why we got the best of both worlds.
If I can be, the weekend rock star, as my wife calls me, and then going back to a regular dad or during the week.
This is the closest I'll get to the dream I would have as a kid, wanting to be on stage playing in front of thousands and thousands of people, and as close as I'll probably get to it.
The whole idea of being able to live a normal life, being able to work a job, have a family, but to do something special with 3 other guys, It's almost impossible.
This is as cool as it's going to get, as far as it's going to get.
I'm hoping that I can do this till nobody shows up anymore. So whether it's another 10, 15 years, I'm having a blast.
There's not a whole lot of flexibility to do a tribute band your way, but we are.
It's U2 fans playing U2 music for U2 fans. I'm sure it means something different to a lot of people, and hopefully something decent.
We're just a bunch of dorky guys from Milwaukee playing U2.
Since the day you left, been down hard, baby. Been down hard, baby. Ever since the day you left, the day you left, the day you left.
I won't be the rest of my life, whether I live 2 days or I live, 60 more years. I've done something that a lot of people can't even do, and I've done it while infusing it in with a normal life, and that's so cool to me, and that means a lot.
The idea of the quote-unquote making it in this business, the music business, we have.
You think I don't hear your whisper, that I can't see you in the dark. When the lights go down, the glisten in your eyes looks like a million shining stars. Sometimes the light that shines